Welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. These are our interviews where we're doing some extra interviews besides just doing the typical 15-minute every day talking about Scrum and Agile. And today I want to do something different. I'm in a change book series. We have a guest here, Karl Fryburg, who's also already published in the change series, and he's an entrepreneur. He's a change agent. He has a topic of goal setting and vision building. He's an entrepreneur, trainer, mentor, coach. He does all this stuff. And I thought it would be great for people who are, as we know, in Scrum and Agile, there's a big push for using goal setting as part of what we do. And I wanted to bring Karl in here because we'll talk about later, but he's going to be in a future meetup too and work with the people that we know and care about. And with that, I want to introduce Karl. Karl, tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Hey, thanks so much, Greg. It's really a pleasure and an honor to be here again with a fellow collaborator with the Change Book. A little bit about me. I'm down here in Southeast Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Been in the yachting industry for over 40 years. That's kind of my day gig, and then I call myself a yacht technician by day and serial entrepreneur by night. I grew up right around the corner from you. I'm Lancaster, Pennsylvania boy. I was there all the way through high school and graduated and found my passion for the water and the sun and fun. And we had traveled to Florida every summer to visit my grandparents as I was a child. And I just fell in love with Florida. So off I went at about 22 years old. And I've been down here ever since. Really enjoying, and I enjoy what I do. I love my work. But also as time goes on and we get older in life, we come to the realization that, I'm not going to be able to be crawling around in tiny little hot, itchy, tight places for the rest of my life as well, climbing tower legs and all that. So I love what I do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to scale down a little bit and slow down with that. So that created a new drive and goal and vision for me to move on and start using my voice and my brain
Your brain.
to share with others, to share my wisdoms.
Oh, good. So I see on Facebook, I saw you post a picture of this giant yacht and how it got out and rolled out. So what is the most rewarding part of getting a ship back into the water?
Yeah, that particular boat is a 20-year-old Viking sport fishing yacht. And they called us in literally 2 days before they were getting ready to start preparation for painting. This boat had a complete paint job all the way from the very top of the top all the way to the bottom. And so we being in the electronics industry, the painters don't want to have anything to do with disconnecting and removing all that equipment. So we came in and did all that. And in the process, I noticed a lot of what you find with a 20-year-old yacht is chopped off, cut off, dangling wires everywhere because people come in and put new stuff in, but don't bother pulling out the old. And the owner took one look at what I had already done inside where he drive the boat from, basically what they call the helm or the console. And, he looked in there and he's like, oh my God, what a mess. And I said, I can make this beautiful for you. And he said, go for it. So the paint job took about 4 months. My work took probably about a month. I was able to come in little bits and pieces along the way when they weren't spraying or when they didn't have everything bagged up. So rewarding part, yes, the boat launched. I literally had all of the engine startup stops disconnected, all the bilge pumps, all the running wires, running lights, everything that you could think of to make the boat enjoyable was cut apart and put back together again with brand new.
Oh, nice.
And my satisfaction is when you sit there and you go, click, yep, it works. Click, yep, it works. Click, yep, it works. Click, start the engines. They start. Turn off the engines. They turn off. So it is very, very rewarding. It gets stressful in the end. The owners get stressed. They've spent a lot of money. The captain gets stressed. It's taking way too long to get the boat back in water. They're from up north. They've been down here since Christmas because they were supposed to have the boat by Christmas. So everybody's anxious, and that's always a little challenging, but we always manage to get through it.
Yeah, it's a challenge, right? Fixing all that stuff from years ago. Like I mentioned in the beginning, In the Scrum world, we're really push for goals and vision as we generate products in IT world, or and just product building in general. And you know, please talk about your experiences of coaching people in your goal setting and vision building. What do you see? What's some things that people should take away from that, or any
Yeah.
tips?
So just to bring people a little up to speed,
There you go.
this is it's as you can see, it's not a lifetime of reading.
Nice.
It's a nice little quick book, and I named it Goal Setting Simplified for that reason. What I tried to attempt to do, or actually accomplished, was to take the concept of goal setting and break
Mhm.
it down into bite-sized pieces.
Right.
I think we all know goal setting is so wide ranged and so varied. It can be anything from I want to lose 5 pounds to I want to buy a yacht to as you mentioned, I have this product idea, this concept. Look at for those that don't know, look it up when you get a chance. The Hard Rock Hotel guitar in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
It is a ginormous guitar that shoots laser beams into the sky every night, completely colorful. We're blessed we can see it from our home.
Yeah.
Um, that was somebody's $1.5 billion vision.
Wow.
So can you imagine going to the Seminole Tribal Review and going, "What do you think of this?"
Yeah.
So again, so people get, it's a shame that goal setting doesn't get started taught to kids when they're in fifth grade or sixth grade and taken all the way through high school. It's just not, because they all want everybody to come out and be a cog in
Yeah.
the wheel for the rest of their life and not have free thinking or entrepreneurial abilities. So
I don't think that's even taught to management and people who graduate college kind of be the middle management, and just in general. Once they worked their way and got so good at what they did, but they never got to the point where they have to start setting goals for the organization, their teams, and things like that. They have never been taught how to do that either.
yeah, so that's why I tried to make it simplified. I
Mm-hmm.
made it, I broke it down to literally 10, 20 minutes a day for about 5 days. And then as far as in my course, then what we do is about 10 days or a week, whatever, however long
Mm-hmm.
it takes you to go through, you reach back out to me. And then we spend an hour one-on-one and I record it. And we create like a strategy session around what you've learned and
Okay.
what your ideas and your visions and goals are moving forward. Um, and then I, of course, take the recording and send it off to the student, client, customer, etc. And it's interesting what you were saying with going into corporations and things. It's part of what I'm focusing on this year is, I mean, everything from a real estate agencies,
Mm-hmm.
car dealerships, corporate America, Coca-Cola. It doesn't matter that
Yeah.
everybody needs to learn this process and this concept to be successful in life.
Right.
And so I like the idea of doing, small to medium sized groups, 10, 20, 50 people, where we can work more on a kind of a one-on-one basis, and then I can work with them after the fact if they decide it's something they like and want to pursue.
Kind of like doing a workshop or something like that, where they actually
Exactly.
get a little
Exactly.
training, do a little application, do a little circle, how to go, a little retro, and keep going. Cool. So, um, I mean, maybe it might think, but a lot of entrepreneurs, business leaders, they have goals, and you probably have your own goals too. One of the things I try to be truthful, there's good days and bad days with goals. Like there's days you meet all your goals, and there's days you don't. Um, how do you overcome those bad days and not meeting your goals? What do you have a little techniques, or is there something you know that you do for yourself and your
Sure.
goals?
Lean in.
Yeah, lean in.
You reset the goal.
You reset the goal. Oh, good. I like that.
The beautiful thing, the wonderful and beautiful thing about goal setting
Mm-hmm.
is goal setting is a structure and a timeline
Right.
to assist you. Many people have, depending on how far your reach is here, everybody, at least most successful people, get up every morning. I mean, I got one here, I got one over there, I got one on my nightstand, I got one in my car, journals. We either, I've found that writing everything down for what you want to do tomorrow before you go to bed makes going to bed a lot easier than waking up in the morning and trying to remember all the things that you thought about as you were going to bed, trying to go to sleep. So yeah, so it's nothing's cast in stone. And again, part of the book, and I talk about this and I kind of reiterate it throughout the process, to say, don't beat yourself up. Just say, wow, I missed that. Why did I miss that?
Right.
And that's why you always leave space in between your goals so you can take notes and morph and change. It's amazing. Like if you set a year goal,
right,
there's a good chance that within 6 months, that goal is completely different than what you thought about a year ago.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So these quickie daily, goals, projects, things, if they get away from you, they get away from you. There's always the old thing about eat the frog, eat the frog first, because take care of the biggest hairy elephant in the room, and then of course, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So I always try to share with my my students and people that um it's there to help,
right,
more so than to hurt. And if you find yourself beating yourself up over it, then go back to that list of goals and look at what you did accomplish and reward yourself for those accomplishments.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel better about, oh, I didn't get this one done today. And again, reschedule it, reset it. I thought I could do this today. Maybe I need to think about this one for a couple days and put it out to Wednesday.
Right.
And try again.
Yeah, no. I actually adapt my goal. I do the goal books writing too. And I now write, someone mentioned just what you said, things that were successful, that were good. And they may not have been a part of my goals altogether, but I'm celebrating this was a win, this was a win, things like that in my goal book as I go throughout the day. Because I'm always trying to look back at my goals just to remind myself, what was that what I wanted to do again? And just kind of refocus. I use that as a way to refocus throughout the day as well.
Yes.
So I know you from being a co-author in the Change Book series, as well as myself in the upcoming versions going out. Is there anything about that process that helped stretch your mind that you learned completing your portion of the book, what goes into a book writing process that you got from doing that series?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few takeaways, and there were some good lessons learned and some things that have actually helped me moving forward with people like yourself who are in the next version of the book. I never they kind of, and I like and I don't like the way they do this, but nothing personal, Jim. But they kind of just said, look, write a chapter of 3,500 words, submit it with some headshots, and we'll review it and let you know if it needs to be edited or audited or whatever else. And so for me to write 3,500 words is not a big challenge, but the fact that it's literally like you want to explain what you do, your course, your teachings, your mentoring, whatever it is, in a very short amount of time. So short amount of reading.
Right.
So I did. And again, in the concept of goal setting, I tried to take and break it down into bite-sized pieces and say, okay, I want to talk about this first, and then I need to move into the body of it, which is this, and then I need to close out with this. And interestingly enough, then I get my first whatever you want to call it, the draft, when they send us the copy that we were able to move on and send to the publisher to make this happen.
Yeah.
And then I saw people and they're doing bold printing and bullet points and all this cool stuff. And all I did was just write 3,500 words of blah, 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 blah with a few page breaks or paragraph breaks. So I really wish I would have had a little more insight into how everybody else was doing it. And that's one of the things that I've really enjoyed offering. I think I even sent you mine right off the bat. everybody that's working on 20, they're like, well, how did you write it? What did you do? I said, let me send you 19 so you can see how people did it, so you
Yeah.
don't do what I did.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, as
But
far as writing it was not the challenge. It was just trying to make sure that I put enough meat and potatoes on the plate that
yeah.
everybody could get a full meal.
Now, was this your first book or a couple books later?
This is actually the third publication I'm involved with. The
Uh-huh.
first two are my own self-published, which
Okay.
I just showed you the goal setting simplified, and then kind of where my whole writing career and everything all began.
Yep.
Another big read there, as you can
There
see,
you go.
about 50 pages, is A Limb for a Limb, which
Yep.
was the 100-year-old oak tree that changed my life 4 years ago when it decided to lop off my big toe
There you
right before
go.
my very eyes.
Gives you a story, and you're like, oh,
This
uh-oh.
was late September of 2019. It took me until the middle of January of 2020 to get through two operations and healthy enough to try getting back onto yachts.
Right.
And of course, we all know what happened the third week of January of 2020,
Yep.
the
Yep.
P word, and then the
Yeah.
country shut down. So
Yeah. We don't say that word.
I just say the P
We just
word.
say 2020, the
Yeah.
2020 event.
So, here I am, of course, entrepreneur,
Right.
something that lots of people forget about or don't understand about when you're an entrepreneur. When you're not
Yeah.
trading hours for dollars, your dollars go to zero.
Right.
But I also. So,
Yeah.
here I am suffering in pain, making no money, dealing with all this mental stress and pressure over how am I
Uh-huh.
supposed to make money. So while I'm laying there on the couch every day recuperating, I'm on my laptop looking for how to create multiple streams of income and write books and publish them on Amazon. And
There
I
you go.
can tell something I share with everybody in these interviews is
Mm-hmm.
if you've had a traumatic experience, a trauma, something horrible
Yeah.
that's happened in your life, whether you actually bring it to fruition into publication or not,
Yeah.
write it down. Tell
Yeah.
your story to yourself, because the interesting thing is, and you're an author,
Right.
when you write and then you read and then you write some more and then you
Mm-hmm.
read and then you fix what you didn't like about what you read and then you write some more and then you read some more and then you write some more and then you read and you read and you read and you read.
Yeah.
So I had probably read My Accident 500 times before I published the book.
How long did it
And
take you to publish it?
I January to April, pretty much.
Okay.
I set a goal for April. I think it was April 20th actually that it went live.
Okay.
Um, So it took me about 4 months. And again, I was trying to hit 5,000 words is kind of to what they say is the
Yeah.
minimum that you should really have as a paperback book.
Yeah.
I'm at about 5,200, 5,500 on both of these
Okay.
because again, coming coming from a person that looks at this book and says, "Boy, I can do that," and then they look at this book and say, "Oh my God, how long is that going to take me?"
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
like the idea of getting quick and to the point with my writing.
Well,
Um,
well, let me ask you something because I think it's a good point. And you wrote some small books, right? Well, 2 points. One, your goal setting. Were you able to apply your goal setting to your process of writing the books? And was it just a relief to say, I did it and I got it done, and then you can grow from that? Because big thing in Scrum and Agile is to try to do things small, put some value out there, and then build upon that value. So with those two things, one, building upon the value of the small books, but two, also, did you apply your goal setting to help you or learn from writing those books and your goal setting process, how that now applied to your coaching?
I absolutely did, including that book went live on Amazon 10 days prior to my goal date that I had set for it.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that I used I practiced what I preached. I used my goal setting
Yes.
techniques to create the goal setting book. And then I went on and went even one further, which I'm happy to say is this year will be 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I used it to quit smoking cigarettes.
There you go.
After over 40 years, probably about 40 years, I was never a real heavy smoker, but
Right.
I literally created and reverse engineered the process of how I was going to walk away from cigarettes. And I literally walked away on that day and never went back again.
And probably all the money you save now pays for those books.
and
Publishing those books.
Yeah, and then the second, the second part to expand on your idea is book number 2 in the goal setting series is going to be goal setting mastery simplified. Because again, all my books in my series are running for your lifestyle, which is my trademark, and my what's going to be my courses and my classes and my conventions and all those kind of things.
Right.
But also simplified. I'm going to be writing one called Credit Creativity Simplified here this year, because if there's anybody knows how to play the credit card game after going 60 grand in debt 4 years ago, it's me.
Well, there's your intro.
Yeah,
I survived. Yeah. I did it.
This makes me an expert at it, but I'm going to teach you how to do it simply. So goal setting mastery is going to be probably not going to have as many cool, colorful pictures and whimsical things in it. I'm going to really get into the deep dark depths of it and go into vision and vision boarding. It's so vast with what you need to know in order to really take goal setting to high levels.
Yep.
So the idea is somebody that's been through this course who read the 1 hour over a week's time, 2 hour read, whatever it is, will be more open to spending more time when they get the second book, or they take the second course, because now they understand who I am, what my method of teaching is. So yeah, like you just mentioned with Scrum and Agile is the start with the little things and then build from the little things up. And that's what I've been doing with all my processes here in the last year.
Maybe when you get your next book out, we'll do a seminar on vision boarding. Maybe we'll have you come up, do some speaking, and you can sell your book and also help facilitate the class or something.
Yeah, I would love to. One of the things I was looking at earlier, this is kind of my daily affirmation vision. It's got pictures of our beautiful home that we have not seen yet, that's up in North Florida. It's got pictures of our cars in the driveway. It talks about where our life is 5 years. When you really get into true vision boarding and vision building out. In my garage, I have a kind of a shop there.
Yeah.
When we moved here 5 years ago, I literally had a 4x8 piece of that whiteboard.
Yeah.
Not so much dry erase, but just white phenolic plywood type thing. And that's now hangs in my garage, so that when I'm at my workbench doing work, I'm looking at my vision board of where my life is going to be. And it's a consistent motivator. And there's so much out there about this and the whole law of attraction and manifestation. And we could go on for hours.
Go depth in that one.
That's a whole nother show. So
I even have my own little vision board. I actually was kind of sneaky about it. I actually took one of those manila envelope folders, the folders that split. I drew it in the folder so that
these guys.
Yeah, like that. And I did the one. So I drew my vision board on the manila folder and put some pictures on it so I can close it up, put it right there on my desk all the time. And I can open it up anytime I want. Because in a small house in Philadelphia, you don't have much space. I definitely don't have much wall space. So you can see it's kind of full. But that way it's always there. And it's not like tucked away in some corner in some document. I know where it is. I can grab it any minute, any time, So that would be fun. So now you got your business, you got runningforyourlifestyle.com and you have karlfryburg.com. Tell us a little bit about that and what that's, I think you kind of bridged into a little bit, introduced a little bit, and just talk about how people can get a hold of you.
Sure. karlfryburg.com is, for those that are out there that know about Linktree. Linktree is an interesting little website where you can post all of your projects, your links to different, if you're an affiliate marketer, your affiliate links, your Facebook links, all these things. So I kind of took that concept and moved it to just karlfryburg.com, which again, everything in my life is always a work in progress, including myself. I'm a firm believer in CANI, which is continued and never ending improvement.
There you go.
So the easiest way to get to know who Karl Fryburg is and learn a little bit more about Karl Fryburg is to go to karlfryburg.com.
Okay.
Now, within that, you can also click through to Running for Your Lifestyle, which is where my actual trainings, courses, books, that's kind of my online e-commerce, my store. That's also going to be expanding with t-shirts and coffee mugs and, all the things as people become part of the movement of Running for Your Lifestyle. And to explain that, we're not talking about out there jogging to make ourselves feel better.
Okay.
We're talking about living with wit, which is WIT, whatever it takes, which many, many entrepreneurs and serial entrepreneurs will tell you that you have to constantly be striving for the best that you can be at whatever level that is and continue to try to up that level as you grow and move forward. Okay. So that's running. I mean, running for your lifestyle is simply that. I'm working my butt off because I have a vision and an idea of what my life is going to look like in the very near future. And I can see it, taste it, and feel it. I just can't quite
just grab it yet.
Just can't quite touch it yet. Yeah. Exactly. And again, this all good. This all folds back into the whole goal setting, vision boarding, vision concept. That is what keeps most of us from crawling under the desk instead of sitting down at it.
Yeah, definitely. So that's cool. So they can go on your karlfryburg.com. They can link over to the runningforyourlifestyle.com and then sign up for some of your online courses, or I guess you got an online course and I guess you meet or something like that, or courses that you offer.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else about getting contact with? That's, I guess, the best way to getting connected to your contact is your two websites and stuff like that.
Yeah, the two websites have all my information on them as well. It's actually I don't hide behind Google Voice or Grasshopper or any of those. The phone number that's on those websites is this right here, my cell phone.
Yeah, me too.
I learned a long time ago that one of the things in the state of Florida, if you're a Florida corporation, your phone number's on the internet anyway. So what's the difference? Why do I have no reason? And the few times I've tried that, it's always been kind of an annoyance because, like, oh, is this Google Voice? Do I answer it? Do I call? If I call it back, is it going to get my phone number? Is it going to have the Google Voice number? And I just don't have the time for that tech and that learning curve. So yes, that's the best way. You can find me on Facebook. I am the only Karl Fryburg, Karl with a K, on Facebook. And I'm also in the process, which I know you and I have touched on briefly, which I'm looking forward to bringing you into my new group, which is Goal Setters and Go-Getters.
Okay. Do you have a LinkedIn page?
I do have a link. I am on LinkedIn as well. Okay. That's another thing that's slated for 2024 goals, is to get myself more active in it, because it's much more business and business oriented than showing pictures of cute kitty cats and boats.
Yep. And I think it's really important.
Wrong with that space over there.
I mean, I usually have Bubbles. I have Heart over here sleeping in my chair. She loves to in my office chair. But Bubbles is here usually, but I think she found a blanket in the other room, and she's like, oh, I'm already done.
Yeah. So that's that's the quickest, easiest way to find me. And part of the whole goal setting simplified course and everything, you also become a lifetime member of the Karl Fryburg Club.
There you go.
Especially right now, like the course that I'm offering, that's $247, is about $1,000 course. It's going to be going up. I mean, just an hour of my time on Zoom is worth more than that.
Yeah.
Not to mention getting the recording. So, but what I'm doing, because I'm still kind of in launch, not so much pre-launch. I'm still launching and beginning to accumulate new clients and new customers on this particular thing. It's not, I've got some one-on-ones that I've been doing for years.
Yeah.
Is that I'm offering lifetime access to everything. So when Goal Setting Mastery, which will be a $5,000 course, comes out, because you bought the $247 course, now you get that one for nothing.
Yeah, I think of it. I think I was watching TV this morning, I was watching a video, and they're talking about people buying into Amazon or buying it, like Elon Musk buying into Tesla, or the partner for Facebook, and how they only spent so much, but over that lifetime it was so cheap. Oh, it was only 15,000 or $1 million or something, and now it's worth billions and billions of dollars. So I always think about that when you have new companies that launch off, getting in the groundwork.
Yeah.
You got a lifetime. If they set it up right and everything's good, you'll get a lifetime of good stuff out of that you can reuse when it's done that way. So
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, as you know, in a moment I sent you all three of my books on digital because
Yep.
I take as much pride as I do giving them away as I do seeing my little teeny weeny Amazon check that shows up every so often,
Yeah, it's always small. People like, oh, you're rich. I'm like, no, it's like a little tiny. It's not very
Yeah.
much.
Here's your
Um,
$3.42. Great
yeah,
job. Keep up the good work.
yeah. It's actually surprised. Google actually sent me a 1099 this year. They usually don't. I guess the IRS needs money, and they're making them.
Congratulations.
They're like, everyone's like, you gotta give. You gotta document your taxes. So they're having fun. So just to close it up, so you're gonna be at our meetup. It got you written in, and I'm going to promote you, and it's going to go out on February 21st of this year, 2024. It's always the third Wednesday of the month that we do our little meetup. We might do more in the future. If I fill up a whole year of doing once a month and I get so many speakers, so many people, we'll do more. But for now, it's going to be once a month, third Wednesday. Looking forward to having you there and maybe do some exercises and stuff like that. So I want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing your thoughts. And I hope people are inspired to reach out to you, Karl, and give you another avenue to do that. And like I said, definitely bringing you my group and the people I work with. Maybe I'll hook you up with our Slack channel. You can be in charge of the goal motivation part of my Slack channel if you want. We'll tap you in there.
I'm always open to sharing my wisdoms, and if there's anything if I could share in closing and it's one of the things I really like to kind of offer to people and live by is just a thought, and that is that dreams become visions, visions become goals. Clearly written, defined, and executed goals become reality.
There you go. And you got to work on them. The part is the execution part.
Execution
you
is
can
key.
dream all you want, but until you actually start working on it, it's just going to be a dream. And I think that's one of the really important. Well, thank you very much, Karl. Wish you the best of luck in your endeavors and all the things you're doing. And I want to thank you for sharing some of your insights into your life and things that you're sharing. So
thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure and an honor.